Good morning. This is the 5 a.m. recap of Listen to Your Heart, Episode 1, Season 1. I'm Chase Smidt.
I'm Nathan Smith.
And we're going to be talking about the episode. We just got done watching it, and it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it started off with pretty much 20 random people showing up to a big house they claim to all be musicians, even though we only heard half of them do anything music whatsoever, so it's an interesting show.
Yeah, the only connection I feel that this has to The Bachelor is putting it in a mansion and having Chris Harrison. And honestly, Chris Harrison, the whole episode looked like he didn't want to be there. That was my impression. What was your impression?
Well, I have light exposure to The Bachelor.
Nathan has a poster of Chris Harrison in his room. Don't let him fool you.
Yeah, that's the point. But I've watched a few seasons of The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, and he's obviously the one that hypes up all the drama and acts like he cares, but for this, I don't think he had the heart to act like he cared about any of these people in the show.
Yeah, it sounded like he wasn't even listening to his heart. So let's get into it. We're going to talk about the, I guess, not cast members, but the contestants. Would you call them contestants?
Call them contestants. No, I'm here this week.
Yeah, so we went online. It took us about 5 minutes to find out how to get this information because we don't remember names that well. And we're going to talk about each one of them in order of the website of ABC. So first we got Chris Harrison. For a contestant, Chris Harrison didn't seem like he was really that into it. I don't even think he got picked this week, so I don't know how he's coming back next week.
Yeah, they always find a way for Chris Harrison because, I don't know, he just stays single for so long.
Yeah, I believe he's self-partnered, which allows him to continue on with each week.
Yeah, I think he's the oldest one this season, too. He's getting up there in age. Already has kids and some exes, wives.
Next we have Becca. She's 25, a musical theater person, and she lives in Washington, D.C. Personally, I don't know what type of musical theater you can get into in Washington, D.C., but it looks like she's found a way to do that.
Yeah, she had a few roles. She was just hopping up the drama.
Yeah, exactly.
Her biggest thing, she got a rose because all the females got a rose this week, so I wouldn't be surprised if she wasn't back next week, or she might get involved in drama, which will obviously keep her around if anybody's watched any of the Bachelor shows.
Yeah, at the end of the episode, she definitely seemed to want to entice a little something or hype things up a little bit. Next we have Brandon, 34 years old. Brandon is the oldest contestant on there. Genre is American folk pop, and this is going to sound crazy, but he's actually from Nashville, Tennessee. I cannot believe we only got about 90% of the people being from Nashville, Tennessee. This is really crazy.
Yeah, I think, was this the dude that was the veteran?
Yes.
Yeah, so he said it was he flirted around the title of sniper pretty much. I thought that was pretty funny because...
Yeah, well, we listened to that, and he said sniper scout, so it's making me think that he was like a dude with binoculars pointing out people for the real sniper to shoot. And you saw the necklace he was wearing. What was the necklace, Nathan?
Yeah, it was some tooth he found or something.
No, it was a bullet. It was a bullet, and he was acting like music saved his life from PTSD from looking at binoculars all day. No offense to PTSD. That's a very serious issue.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention. I thought it was a weird sharp tooth that 12-year-olds get through the phase of.
Yeah, I believe you went through that phase, Nathan.
Yeah.
Next is Bree, genre pop, Utah. So the only thing I remember about Bree personally is Utah, because Nathan made a comment about that.
Yeah.
Nathan, you probably know more about her than I do.
Well, it started off with her with a bunch of kids, so obviously you would think that she had a previous relationship where she had kids and everything, probably married, but it turns out they were her nieces and nephews. So I was thinking, which would be worse if you heard that a lady had kids that was on the show where she's from Utah, and I mean, it was...
Yeah, it was a toss-up for both of us. Next we have Cheyenne, R&B from California. So Cheyenne, she was hitting it off with somebody.
I think it was Gabe. Well,
no, it was somebody but the piano.
Yeah, Gabe.
No, Gabe was not. Gabe was... Maybe it was Gabe. It was either Gabe or Chris. Cheyenne did the nicest thing and kept Ryan along. We'll talk about Ryan later, but that's Cheyenne's biggest role of the night. I think she's one of the best female singers from what we've seen. What?
Kept Ryan along?
Yeah, Cheyenne kept Ryan.
No, Rudy kept Ryan.
Who did Cheyenne keep?
Cheyenne.
Oh, Cheyenne kept Matt.
Yeah.
So sorry. Next we have Chris. He's 30 years old, genre soul, also from California. Chris.
This was. I think there was literally two black guys. One of them was pretty quiet, and one of them was outspoken.
Yeah, Gabe's the outspoken one.
Yeah, Gabe's outspoken. I think I wasn't noticing. Like I don't know
Chris
the characters very well, but yeah. Chris is.
Yeah, we
fan
might.
fiction.
Yeah, this is Nathan's hope. Is that Chris is actually gay? We're not spreading rumors, but
yeah, I mean
that's definitely the vibe.
If he turned out, I mean, he had one of the best voices and like musical talent that I could tell. So I mean, if he's gonna sweep me off his feet, I'm here.
Yeah. Next we have Danny. Danny's 26, singer-songwriter. I don't know how that's a genre, but that's what it's got here. From also California. I think this dude went home.
Yeah, I think he did too.
Yeah, that's all we got for Danny. Next we have Gabe, 28, soul folk, Houston, Texas.
Yeah, Gabe is really outspoken. I think there was a cut scene where it showed him and Cheyenne. I think it was Cheyenne, maybe it was Chris, but I mean, in any of the Bachelor shows, not to be offensive here, but they only keep around ethnicity and then they get voted out later on.
Oh, really?
That's
I don't agree with that.
Chase
Nathan
agrees with that.
No, Gabe seemed like a really cool guy. He seemed really fit. He said he was a big believer, and I believe he was the one that sang Stand By Me by Benny King. Pretty good cover. Next we have Jack. Jack
I believe didn't say anything the whole time.
Jack 100% went home, yeah.
Yeah.
Next we have...
Ear tattoo guy.
Yeah, next we have... Yeah, he had a tattoo behind his ear, which was funny to us. Next is probably a person we'll spend the most time talking about is Jamie, 21 years old. Nashville, Tennessee. Who would have guessed?
Country at that. She sings country.
I believe she's a hostess in her real life. What were your initial thoughts about Jamie, and what do you think about Jamie right now?
Well, whenever it started out, she was very attractive. She has a really pretty face. She was the youngest one, 21 years old, which I didn't realize Cheyenne was the second youngest at 23. But Jamie started out talking about how she didn't want drama, so naturally whenever anybody on the show says they don't want drama, they're going to probably be the center of all the drama on the show. So I think in the first night she made out with like 2 or 3 guys, which, I mean...
Yeah, I think you were one of them, Nathan, isn't that right?
She called me, but the quarantine, I couldn't go.
Yeah. So that was your initial thought about Jamie. What is your thought now that the episode is over?
Now that it's over, she was stuck between, who was it, Ryan and Trevor?
Yeah.
Yeah, Trevor was the big sex appeal guy. His opening thing was like sitting shirtless with a dog, which I'm sure is not very comfortable. Like, probably got slobber all over him, but
yeah, she's
into that apparently. And Trevor seemed like an alright guy. So
we'll talk about Trevor.
We'll get into them, but she made a big decision, and she didn't choose Ryan, which was the big thing of that episode. And Ryan he got a lot of screen time. They were there initially together, and then pretty much Rudy kept Ryan along. So now they're going to keep up the drama and have Trevor and Ryan there. So now next week it's going to be up to Trevor and Ryan to see who keeps around Jamie. And that's going to be their big thing. Yeah,
Jamie, honestly, she seems like the Demi of this season, where she's somewhat ditzy, pretty young, claiming she really wants to settle down. Her big thing was that she claimed to have gone on hundreds of dates, in every relationship she's been in, she claims she's been cheated on. So obviously The Bachelor is a great place for someone who, one, doesn't want drama and doesn't want their partner to cheat on them. This is a great place for you to come and, express that, both of those preferences.
Absolutely. I mean, you're in an environment where you can know somebody for like 20 to 30 minutes and pretty much make out with them in that time. So, I mean, I think she's in a really good environment to have all of her goals and dreams met. Yeah,
21 years old. Like, she's at the end of her, lifespan at this point. She just needs to find anyone and get with them, whether that be Ryan, who's like 80% hair, or Trevor, who won't stop bringing up that he was on American Idol. Next we have Mr. Clean himself, Josh, from Nashville, Tennessee. Doesn't really matter what we talk about him. This was the bald dude.
Yeah, the bald dude. Apparently, who was it? That was another guy that said, Sheridan. Yeah, Sheridan pretty much just said that he was jacked and he looked pretty scrawny to me. I'm not saying I could take him.
Well, that's a different topic. That's later in the. All right, next we have Julia to go along with Josh. Julie had the option between Josh and Sheridan. So essentially, she was poised with the question of whether to go with no hair or a lot of hair.
And she took the hair and ran.
She did take the hair, and she did. I didn't see her run, but reports say that she ran. She's 27 years old, pop genre from Pennsylvania, yeah.
Yeah, and it says her eye color's unknown. I mean, whenever she smiles, you cannot. I mean, it's a toss-up for ethnicity. I mean, all eyes.
Yeah, we sent in a 21andMe set. We got her saliva. We're gonna let you know when we get that back. Next we have Matt, 32 years old. It says neo soul as his genre.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that means. I think it just means he got bored in quarantine and shaved the sides of his head and pulled from mullet or something.
Yeah, he looks like the do you know the Old Dominion band?
Yeah.
He looks like the main singer of Old Dominion and the dude from the Black Mirror episode where he can't see his ex-girlfriend. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks like a mix of those two guys with a beard. Matt's big thing for the episode for me, one, he was pretty jacked, so I really resonated with that. But also, he asked to kiss Rudy pretty early on in their relationship in a hot tub. And it was probably one of the most awkward parts of the night. We'll talk about the most awkward part in Two People, but how did you feel about Matt this episode?
Yeah, I thought Matt he was a big tool pretty much. Whenever he was on camera, he was looking around, trying to see, he seemed paranoid, like he was on drugs or something. I don't know, maybe he was just trying to be a star, but he was pretty much hanging around 3 chicks, and one of them obviously chose him. And I think there's going to be more drama whenever other girls get involved, because I don't think he's going to be... I think he'll be a big part just because there's a lot of drama around him, but other than that, I don't think he's going to be a meaningful character by any means.
Absolutely. He looked like he was going to go home, but I believe Cheyenne saved him. That was my mistake. Cheyenne did not save Ryan. Cheyenne saved Matt.
Yeah, that was the big thing.
Yeah, that was very nice of her.
Because he was with... Who was he with? He was with Rudy and, Mel.
Yeah.
And then there was a curveball, and, none of the 2 girls he's been hanging out with on camera chose him. So, the next episode, there's obviously going to be drama with him, who's the new chick.
Yeah.
So that was interesting.
Yep, 2 curveballs. Next, we have Mel. She went on the date with Matt. It was a pretty lame date. I think they saw the Plain White Tees, and the Plain White Tees did not, in fact, play Hey There, Delilah, or its sequel song, Hey, It's Delilah. That was pretty disappointing for me. I don't know about you.
Yeah, it was a big letdown. I guess he got tired of stalking girls on track teams, but...
Yeah, that's a reference to the origin of Hey There, Delilah. We won't get into it. That's for a different podcast on a different day. But look at the origins for Hey There, Delilah. It's about a track star. Honest, a little off topic, but it seemed like this whole episode... They had this weird connection to A Star Is Born and to John Mayer for some reason.
Yeah, there was a lot of John Mayer references. There was this producer that came out whenever Ryan and Jamie went on their date, and it was pretty much nobody knows who I am, but I'm pretty much best buds with John Mayer. Take my word for it. Yeah,
I don't think I've ever seen someone who's actually famous introduce themselves as blank nominated person. I don't hear Martin Scorsese being like, hello, I'm Martin Scorsese, Oscar nominated and winning director. You should just be famous or not be famous. And this guy definitely looked like he was trying to be famous. Next we have Michael Todd, probably the most controversial character of this episode. And I say this episode, not this season, because he did have a fateful end to his run on the show. Genre singer-songwriter, where he's from, it doesn't matter anymore because he's back there right now. This guy was creepy. How'd you feel about him, Nathan?
Yeah, whenever he came on the show, he was giving me real pervish vibes. He was...
Nathan's really good at picking up pervs. It takes one to know one, as they say.
Yeah, I mean, I won't get into all my endeavors here in quarantine, but he was... tried to kiss... Who was it again? He tried to kiss... Oh, the one from Savannah, yes. He tried to kiss Savannah, and they were both drinking wine. She was minding her own business, trying to get to know people, and I mean... I guess you can't really fault Michael Todd. Like, he might seem like he has a strong personality, but at the end of the day, everybody there is making out with each other in the first 30 minutes. So, I mean, obviously he's there for one reason and one reason only. That's to get some. But he obviously didn't.
I do admire the fact that he sang twice in this episode, played the guitar once, and you don't see that a lot for a show that's supposedly about musicians. So I admire that. I'm not saying it was a good move, but... Next we have Rudy, probably going to be a main source of drama for this season. She's 24, R&B and pop is her genre, from San Antonio, Texas. Right off the bat, she claimed to have dated everyone in LA, but in the corner it showed that she was from San Antonio, Texas, so that really threw us off for about 10 minutes. We were trying to see what was up with that connection. How did you feel about that?
Yeah, she really didn't make an impression on me. She was pretty much saying how she dated everybody in, like, LA or somewhere weird, and, like, she's, like, 10 hours away from there, so, like, I don't know much about her, and, I mean, that's all there really was to her. She got lucky that it was the girls' night to give roses first, and that's pretty much what
she was getting mad at Matt for apparently claiming that... we didn't see the conversation, but apparently Matt claimed he was going to take her on the date, and he did not take her on the date, leaving Matt's fate on the show up in the air. Next we have Russell, 26 years old, American folk from New York, New York. This is the dude that was wearing the leather jacket that probably was going for, like, mysterious, and then was so mysterious that he was not chosen by anyone.
Yeah, I mean, he was, I think on his hand at the end, he, like, did a close-up, and you could see the rings. He was wearing, like, skull rings or, like, something weird.
About 80% of there are more guys wearing rings on this show than there are girls. I don't know if it's a singer thing or a Nashville thing, because everyone's from Nashville. But, yeah, Russell, he could have been speaking Spanish, and we wouldn't have known. We did not see him say one word this episode.
Russell was really weird, just sat in the corner. I mean, he went from, like, quiet and mysterious to, like, what's his deal, to, like, quiet and Columbine. Like, it was a big change.
Yeah. Next we have Ryan, 28. Okay, get this. We got his genre as jazz, funk, pop, R&B from Heights, Missouri. Matt is Nathan's tool bag. I think Ryan would have to be my tool bag. This dude is like 95% hair and looks like a sixth grader. When I saw he was 28, I was pretty shocked. Took me a while to get over that fact. How'd you feel about Ryan, Nathan?
Yeah, I thought Ryan was pretty much a knockoff John Mayer. Then turns out to find he's going to be playing John Mayer songs. I mean, all he's missing is, like, the edgy forearm tattoos of, like, a picture of a girl's face. But other than that, I mean, I feel like he was pretty consistent with one chick, which was Jamie, and she didn't choose him, so it just left him in a weird spot. And that's whenever Rudy came by and picked up the slack, which is pretty predictable if you watch any of the shows.
Yeah.
Like, he got a lot of screen time, so obviously they're going to keep him around and throw in another curveball to add on to.
Yeah, honestly, the Rudy and Cheyenne decisions of this episode, I would just chalk that up to producer input. I don't think they particularly chose them. Next we have Savannah, the yoga instructor, 25 years old. Acoustic pop is her genre. And get this, she's from Nashville. She looks like Kelsey Ballerini. I don't know if you know who that is.
Absolutely not.
Okay, she looks like Kelsey Ballerini. She was the one that had to dodge Michael Todd's super attractive kiss. We saw a couple of yoga poses, so honestly, that's all I remember from her. What do you remember, Nate?
Her big deal was she just got to tell the stories about Michael Todd trying to kiss her, and, like, that was her claim to fame for this episode. So
yeah, I honestly don't remember who she picked. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. Yeah.
We will get back to you, but probably not on who she chose. Second to last, we have Sheridan, 27 years old, R&B, soul, pop, another jack of all trades from Austin, Texas. This is the dude who, it was between this dude and Cue Ball for Julia. This guy lives in his car. He named his car.
Lexi or something?
I don't know. It was a Subaru, so all Subaru owners are crazy. And if any Subaru owner wants to fight me on that, I'll fight him because I know every Subaru owner I could take. How do you feel about this, Nathan?
Yeah, whenever it showed him on screen.
No, about...
Oh, the Subarus?
About Subarus. Could you take a Subaru guy?
Oh, absolutely. We had a former boss that drove a Subaru, and I could 100% throw hands with him.
Yeah. And what do you think about Sheridan?
Yeah, whenever it showed him on screen, thought he was like, who's this? He looks alright, but then he's like, yeah, I live in my car, like, let me show you the kitchen. He did this little cringy thing where he like opened up all of his doors.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's my bathroom.
Yeah, he like closed the door, was like, now the kitchen.
Yeah.
Closed the door, now the living room.
Yeah.
Closed the door, now the bathroom. And I was like, dude, are you serious?
He pretty much got in the back of his car and like closed the trunk. And I'm sure his car probably smells horrendous, like probably like the Ratatouille. Like,
yeah, no offense, but this guy looks like he smells bad, as Nathan put when we first saw him. This guy, he looks like he thinks deodorant is a choice for some reason.
Yeah, like it was bad, but he's still on the show somehow, and he played a song to a girl and she cried. He had a good voice. It was
an original song. It surprisingly wasn't a John Mayer song.
He wrote it. he was a talented guy, but weird. But
yeah, honestly, for all the dudes and girls, I told Nathan this earlier, but for a show about musicians, it seems like only the dudes know instruments. There was always a dude on a piano or a dude with a guitar. The girls were just like, I can sing, so that makes me a musician. Yeah. Finally, we have Trevor, 29 years old, country pop from California. This dude is the guy who was on American Idol. They showed a clip of Katy Perry saying he was hot, and I really feel like he begged the producers to add that clip in his intro.
Yeah, man, if you know anything about Katy Perry on American Idol, she pretty much molested a little kid and kissed him on the mouth. But that's a whole other story for another day.
It's really?
Yeah, she pretty much was like, here, come here, give me a kiss, you did so good. She pointed to her cheek, and then this boy, he was really young, never kissed anybody before, like he said. Then whenever he went to lean in, she turned and kissed him on the lips, and that was a big ordeal. People were really disappointed in Katy Perry, so she obviously wants anything that she can get.
Yeah. So now, really quickly, we're gonna do something really. This is special to our podcast. No other podcast has ever done this in the history. We're gonna go through the male contestants, and we're gonna see if we could take them in a fight. First, we have Brandon the Marine. Nathan, could you take him in a fight? The sniper scout, quote unquote.
I am really confident in myself, but I'm gonna say no. Brandon looked like he had a pretty good physique from what I could tell. He's a Marine, so I'm sure he's an airhead, and he'd probably just do anything to win a fight. So I'm not about the edgy fights.
All right, I do think I could take Brandon. This dude, he was bragging about how he doesn't have tattoos as opposed to all other Marines, he says. That really makes me think that he likes to be the different guy, the oddball out, and I think that makes him the oddball out physically for Marine guys. So I do think I could take Brandon in a fight. Next we have Chris, the African American gentleman. What could you take Chris in a fight?
Absolutely. There's no question about it.
Yeah, Nathan and I both think we could take Chris in a fight. Next, we have Danny. I honestly don't know if he was on this episode, so we're just looking at the picture. We probably never even saw him in the episode.
Yeah, from Nathan, the looks of it, I think, I could easily take him in a fight. Yeah,
I could take him in a fight. Next, we have Gabe. I think I know both of our answers.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, that's what I said. Gabe was definitely right off the bat.
I showed him working out in the gym, and
he would hurt us.
He was pretty jacked.
Next we have Jack. This is the dude with the tattoo behind his ear. Just for that reason, I'm only looking at his face. I don't even think I ever looked at his body. I would fight this dude because of that tattoo. Not even would I take him? I would just fight him.
Yeah, I remember seeing him at the end. He was he was a, not heftier, but he was like a taller dude and like a really bigger like body set. But he didn't look muscular from what I could tell. And I don't think I'd have any problem dancing around and giving him a reason why he should not get an ear tattoo.
All right. Nathan, do you think you could fight Jamie?
Jamie? I mean,
Depends
on what she throws at me.
Yeah,
throws back
Nathan,
at me.
quote this, Nathan would love to wrestle Jamie. That is a quote. Next we have Josh, Mr. Clean himself. Could you take Josh?
I think I can. There was a quote from one of the other contestants. The guy said that he was jacked, but
Sheridan.
I did not see that at all. Sheridan's twice this guy's size. He looked pretty scrawny to me. Sheridan was bigger.
We'll look at Sheridan next week. Josh, he seems really skinny and lean, which I think I could take. He might try to run, and he'll definitely outrun me. But if we were fighting, I think I could take him. Next we have Matt. This is one of the two guys that got in the hot tub. I personally do not think I could take Matt, but I would like to fight Matt.
Yeah, I don't think I could take him either. He looked pretty big, but he was a tool, so I mean I would have no problem at least.
Yeah, we'll take him together. We will take him together. Matt, if you listen to this, we'll take you together.
Open for interpretation.
Next we have Michael Todd. Even though he would probably try to kiss me while we were fighting, I would still fight him, and I think I could take him. Could you take him?
Yeah, I think I could take Michael Todd. He looks, I mean, he probably has a history of, I don't know, childish pervert stuff. So I mean, I think it's a good cause to society just to fight him.
Yeah. If you guys don't know who me and Nathan are, or what we look like, imagine Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, but if he worked out for like 4 more hours a day, and that's like half of what Nathan and I look like. The other half is like a bigger version of Dwayne Johnson. So just to give you a little image of what we look like. Next we have Russell, the leather jacket guy. I honestly don't think this guy would take off his jacket for us to fight. So I think he would really be limited mobility-wise, so I think I could take Russell.
Yeah, I think I could too. I mean, the only concerns I have with Russell is if he like opened up his leather black jacket and like I'm not trying to bring up like reopen old wounds, but if he had anything in there other than the hands and fists, then I think that might be a problem for me.
All right, next we have Ryan. Ryan is a toothpick, and I could beat him with one finger.
Yeah, I mean, I think he'd be more concerned about messing up his hair than anything else. He'd be a pretty easy target. That's enough said about him. Yeah.
Not finally. Sheridan, I could beat this dude. He lives in his car. I feel like I could pull his hair and he would start crying.
Yeah. I mean, whenever it showed him in his car, I thought he had decent sized arms. And he's he had a bigger build.
I've zoomed out.
You see the thing with like on TV, like I never know how tall people are. So in my mind, this dude's like 6'4" or something like that. And like I know they're not, but like I don't know, it's weird. I think I could take him. I'm not saying I would fight clean, but I think I could take him. Yeah. He has a lot of leverage you can pull on.
Finally, we have Trevor. Trevor is the other dude who got in the hot tub. Wasn't as big as Matt. Ergo, I think I could take Trevor, and I think I would win. What about you, Nathan?
I think if there was any close fight, this would be it. I'm not sure about Trevor. He looked like he had a decent physique. I mean, he obviously works out. Like, I showed him shirtless at the beginning with a dog. I mean, he had better abs than I do.
Really?
Yeah.
Nathan has a 12-pack abs. Everyone, just so you know.
Yeah, I mean, better to be modest than cocky and end up on the wrong side.
Yeah. Next we have most talented. Because this is a musical show, we're going to talk about who we think is the most talented. Do you want to do female and male or just overall? I think overall would be less sexist.
Yeah, overall.
Overall. All right, Nathan, you pick your most talented.
For my most talented, I've thought a lot about it, and I think I'm not positive on who was playing the piano at the beginning of all the episodes. I don't know if that was Chris or Gabe.
I think it was Chris.
Yeah, Chris, I think it showed him play 2 instruments, and every time he sang, I think he had the best voice of anybody there. Just from, there was like half the people on the show that sang, but I think Chris did really, really good singing and all of his instruments. And I mean, as controversial as it might sound, Sheridan, he didn't have a bad voice, and he was playing while singing the guitar, which is not an easy thing to do. It takes practice.
Me and Nathan both play the guitar.
Yeah, we play the guitar, the piano, we play a little bit of the banjo. That's a Mumford and Sons thing, but I mean, not too much anymore.
Yeah, we're still we've been in contact with Mumford and Sons. We're trying to get the band to extend and become Mumford and Sons and 2 other guys, and we're still waiting on a response from that.
Yeah, but it looks good though. It looks good.
Yeah. Nathan picks Chris, is that correct?
Yeah, Chris.
So, just out of fairness, I do also think Chris is probably the most talented. I'm going to try to pick a female, and we actually got some sneak previews at some of the upcoming singing performances. Again, I don't think any of the females play instruments. The only female I remember specifically from this episode singing was Jamie, and it was not that good.
Yeah, that's hardly a musician.
Was Bria singing? Someone was singing "Stay" by Rihanna.
Yeah, I'm not positive.
Whoever was singing "Stay"
yeah.
for me is the most talented female so far. Next category is the prettiest girl. Nathan, you cannot pick your mom for this one, so please stick to the contestants.
Do my best. I didn't think there was any standout girls. There was pretty girls with pretty faces, and I mean, it's really tough. Believe it or not, this is harder than picking the hottest guy.
Honestly.
But I would have to say, I want to switch it up. I don't want to just say Jamie. Like, Jamie was really attractive, but she was also really dramatic, and that really threw it off for me.
We're leaving drama out of that. That's its own category.
Okay, that's true. Yeah, I would still say Jamie. Jamie, she had it going on. She's the youngest one, so I mean, that feels like the most relatable to me. We're close in age, close in location, too. She's from Nashville. This podcast is taking place in Tennessee. We're a few hours away from there.
Yeah, we're in our studio right now.
Yeah.
It is a multi-million-dollar studio.
Yeah, we get up at 4:30 every morning and do these podcasts. So we're bright and early. We sound so energetic because we've been up for a while. We already got a workout in.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, we didn't need a frozen pizza while we watched this show.
Yeah, absolutely not.
I do agree Jamie probably has the prettiest face, but I would say overall, objectively, for me, it's got to be Savannah, the yoga instructor.
Yeah,
again, all I got in my mind right now is the yoga poses for some reason. And now we'll talk about the prettiest guy Nathan wrote down.
Yeah, hottest guy.
The hottest guy. Yeah, they're all in California, and they're all wearing jackets to try to look cool, so I bet they're all pretty hot. But we're going to narrow it down to the most attractive guy.
I think I personally know who it is for me. Who would you say? Who would you say? Just to make sure we're on the same page.
All right. Everyone would want to say Trevor, I think, or Ryan for some reason. I got to go with my man Gabe. Like, overall, I think Gabe is the most, like, nice-looking guy who also looks like a straight-up man. Who would you say, Nathan?
Yeah, Gabe was my runner-up, but I guess I'm going to go for the mainstream and say Trevor. I thought Trevor had it going on.
Okay, for me, Trevor...
He had good facial hair. That's what... I'm jealous of it.
Yeah, okay. I got to say Trevor's smile wasn't doing it for me. Gabe just looks like a genuinely happy
Gabe
guy.
looks way more approachable.
And he looks so real to me.
Yeah.
Next we have Drama Queen. Obviously, I think we all... Actually, for this episode, I think I know who it is. I think it's Rudy.
Rudy, really?
Yeah, is her name Ruby?
Yeah. Rudy.
Rudy.
Yeah, she was...
Rudy. I say Rudy for this episode just because she was getting at Matt. I think Nathan has the other drama queen, and I think there can be arguments made for both of them. Yeah,
I'm going to say Jamie, obviously. Yeah. She was making out with 3 guys, which Rudy was too. And, I mean, they were... I think Rudy, you can argue her because she had the last say, and, like, she got the controversial rose and chose Ryan. But, I mean, Jamie's the one that put her in that situation at the end of the day. So, I mean, you can go back and forth with it, but those 2 were definitely at the top.
Yeah. Next we have... All right, Nathan wrote down Drama Queen and then Drama Queen.
Yeah, it was a brain fart. I meant Drama King, obviously. We
Drama
only have
King.
one more gender left.
Okay.
That's up for discussion too, but not
All
for this
right.
podcast.
For me, it's got to be Chris Harrison. That dude always seems to be stirring up some type of drama in these episodes. I don't know what his problem is, but he just needs to chill out and stop being a drama king. Who would you say?
Drama King for me would be Russell. He's the one in the leather jacket. I mean, I think there's nothing more dramatic than trying to reopen old wounds and like hang out in the back corner in a leather jacket with skull rings on the whole time with like black painted fingernails. I think we all get what I'm referencing earlier in the podcast, but I'm sure that put them all in a hard space of mind, and it's pretty obvious why he's not going to be on the show next week.
Yeah. Yeah, we're pretty far into this. The episode was an hour and a half. I don't know how long the rest of the episodes of the season are going to be. I don't even know what the format's going to look like. I can't expect that they have the budget to go to other countries like The Bachelor, Bachelorette. So I'm guessing they'll just be, singing songs or whatever. That's kind of all I got. You got anything, Nathan?
No, that's pretty much it. Interesting show. Don't know where they're going to go from here.
Yeah. If you guys like this,
we need to do predictions on. Does this show is there one winner, one guy, and one girl winner?
I don't know. We were eating pizza when they were talking about that.
Yeah. I kind of want to get our predictions on something so we can look back and see how good we did.
Well, we already said most talented. So let's talk about. Okay, let's leave music out of this or whatever. You give me a couple you think is gonna make it a while, and I'll give you a couple I think is gonna make it a while.
That's tough. I don't even know who everybody chose, honestly.
Yeah, and there's of course gonna be new people every week. We don't know anything.
Oh yeah, there are other new people. I think Gabe has got to end up with a stellar chick because he's a stellar guy. So I think Gabe has something to do with something in the show.
So Nathan would like the winning couple to be Gabe.
Yeah, I want Gabe
Nathan
to be
Smith.
Yeah, if he's open, I can drop my phone number in here, but other than that, I think Gabe's going to be on the winning side of whatever this show looks like.
For me, I think it's got to be stinking. Who did Brandon end up with?
Brandon ended up with.
Did he end up with Savannah?
Might have.
Honestly, from this
Who did
first.
Mel choose? Maybe it's Mel.
No, it was not Mel.
Sure.
Mel maybe chose Chris. I gotta say, just from this first episode, I think Brandon and Savannah are the couple that will stick it out the longest. I think arguments can be made for Jamie and whoever the heck she decides to choose next week.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for listening, Mom. I really appreciate it. If you could let me know when my laundry's ready, I'll come home and I'll pick it up. Nathan, you want to say anything?
Yeah, shout out to my parents as well. They are the ones that provided the free Netflix and Hulu. Obviously, this is on Hulu, but it's a real blessing to not have to worry about that kind of stuff in our lives right now. We have so much other stuff going on. Yeah, thank you for making the sandwiches without the crust. PB&J always. That's all I have for now.
Yeah, we're going to fart because we've been holding in one for about 40 minutes now. So thank you, and hopefully we might do this again if we remember to do this again. Thank you.